Breathe with all of creation, and this breath out. This breath in. And now when you let your breath out, I want your shoulders to relax and let all the anxiety and excitement of getting here, just let it be. This breath in. And this breath out, and allow it to just relax your shoulders. And as you stand, you are grounded with all of creation. You are grounded with all the ancestors of all nations. Oh, great one, thank you for this day. Thank you for when I woke up this morning, I still had this breath and my eyes opened and I could see another day. Thank you for loving me this much. There is so much to be grateful for, so much to celebrate, and so much to encourage and care for each other. Thank you, Mother Earth, for all that you've supplied, all that you give, for all the living things that you have that supply our air, our water, our food. Now you can slowly open your eyes, bring yourself back to this moment. And when you do open your eyes, you'll feel that sensation, and that's a sensation of taking a moment and allowing yourself to be the best that you can be. And that, again, is something we don't do very often, and it actually allows our physical being to do what it does, and it heals all the time. So now, have a wonderful day, and it's time to celebrate and party. Oh my God! Thank you, Eulalia.
Thank you very much, Anne and Tom, for that beautiful Mi'kmaq. Please, everybody sit. Please, everybody sit. Thank you. I'd like to begin with a brief land acknowledgement that Dalhousie University and our community benefit from and sit on Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. This territory is covered by the Treaties of Peace and Friendship, treaties the Mi'kmaq and Wolastoqey peoples first signed with the British Crown in 1725. These treaties did not deal with the surrender of lands and resources, but in fact recognized Mi'kmaq and Wolastoqey rights and established rules for ongoing relationship between nations. And we pay our respect to Indigenous knowledges held by the Mi'kmaq people and to the wisdom of elders past, present, and emerging. We are grateful for our partnerships and our friendships across Dalhousie's campuses, our faculties, our administrative units, grateful for our elders, our elder-in-residence, and Nabilwa, our Director of Indigenous Community Engagement, Kathy Martin, our Indigenous Advisory Council, many pathway programs across our faculties and campuses, including pathways to the medical, health, and law professions, and many other important projects and initiatives across each of our faculties, including within the Faculty of Architecture and Planning, whose students were inspired by elders to design brave spaces located in Millbrook and across Halifax for athletes participating in the 2023 North American Indigenous Games. These spaces were designed to provide athletes in safe places to reconnect, regroup, and reground during 8 days of competitions. We will continue to work on and build on these critically important relationships. We are all treaty people, and we remain committed to the recommendations of the Truth and Reconciliation Committee report. I would also like to acknowledge the distinct histories, contributions, and legacies of African Nova Scotian people and communities who have been here for over 400 years. We are very thankful to the Indigenous and African Nova Scotian faculty members and staff and students, administrators, and elders who partner with us in developing and enhancing admissions guidelines, curriculum, welcome spaces, and community partnerships. We know that we have much more to do to transform in ways that live up to our commitment to inclusive excellence. Before proceeding, please take a moment to familiarize yourself with the nearest exits in the unlikely event of an emergency. As the ceremony proceeds, please be aware that members of the onstage party may want to stand or leave according to their individual needs. Graduates and guests, you are also encouraged to do the same, and we appreciate your support in creating an inclusive environment for all. Finally, as we proceed with the presentation of diplomas and degrees today, we want the celebration and the ceremony to reflect the appropriate atmosphere and not be too formal. With one exception, if you can please take a moment or a second to turn off the sounds on your phones. But please don't worry at all about any other sounds of children, babies, any cheering, any screaming that you'd like to make to show your enthusiasm as we acknowledge and celebrate and cheer for our newest members of Dalhousie's alumni family. Go ahead and post your photos and selfies of friends and family and send those photos to #DalGrad. And as always, Convocation is being taped so you can watch it and enjoy it again and again and again. I'd now like to take a moment to introduce those individuals who will be participating in our ceremony today. When I call your name, if you can please rise if you are able and remain standing or wave to our audience, starting with Elder Tom Christmas, who delivered the welcome. Elder Anne Lebelwa, who also delivered the welcome. Dr. Rustam Southwell, Dalhousie's Chancellor. Dr. Kim Brooks, Dalhousie's President and Vice Chancellor. Cheryl Fraser, Chair of the Board of Governors. Dr. Louise Spiteri, Chair of Dalhousie Senate. Dr. Graham Gagnon, the Dean of the Faculty of Architecture and Planning. Dr. Marty Leonard, Dean of the Faculty of Graduate Studies. John Hope, General Counsel and University Secretary and the University Beadle for this ceremony. And Brian McKay Lyons, Honorary Degree recipient today. Also on the platform party today and in the audience are those who've contributed to your success. These include many faculty members, staff, administrators, associate deans, VPs, AVPs, and others who have been so critical to the success of our students and the academic excellence of our programs. Can I ask you all to stand as well? Ladies and gentlemen, the platform party for today. Thank you. Please be seated. It is now my pleasure to introduce the President and Vice Chancellor of Dalhousie University, Dr. Kim Brooks, who will deliver the opening remarks. Thank you.
Let's talk about skateboards. I had the joy of visiting the skateboard exhibition in the Design Museum in London last week. I've spent some hours in a skate park, enough time to have discovered how truly terrible I am at that art. The design history of the skateboard matters. It's about how we think deliberately and carefully about fun. There are contested stories about the origins of the plywood board, with one of those origin stories based in Canada with a man named Willie Winkles. In a truly Canadian move, Winkles' first plywood boards were made of maple. Skateboards get integrated into the built environment. Think about cutting a path through sidewalks, drainage ditches, empty swimming pools, and purpose-built parks. You might fairly wonder why I'm waffling on about skateboards to a group of architects and planners, so let's back up. In 1980, the Royal Architectural Institute of Canada prepared a report to the Board of Governors of then Tons. The Institute organized their thinking around 3 basic human factors they believed should inform your practices: imagination, knowledge, and judgment. I know that you've gained knowledge while we were lucky enough to have you with us at Dalhousie. You've attended lectures and seminars, labs and studios, all of which were aimed at supporting your learning in the fields of the sciences, the humanities, and technology. I know that you are accruing judgment, and I hope that you continue to accrue it over your lifetimes. Judgment involves the ability to engage in self-criticism and reflection, to attend to peer evaluation, the advice of experts, and the concerns of clients. Judgments will come as you are able over time and with experience to better sort the relevant from the irrelevant, the important from the less so, and as you gain the confidence to eschew hubris and create room for curiosity and care. But what of the structured use of imagination? It is in the deployment of this basic human factor identified by the Royal Architectural Institute that I want you to thrive. The challenges you will face as entrants into your professions will range from the quotidian, how to hire and retain good talent, organize your practice, deliver projects on time, and mostly on budget. That's optimistic. To the critical, are there new materials with which you could more sensibly work? How must you adapt to changing technologies? How to make the most of space within which you're able to work? How to balance the historic and the modern, affordability and accessibility, aesthetic with functional? What is necessary to promote environmental sustainability, build consensus among divergent views, promote universal design, and tend to the changing needs of your clients and users? To the truly profound, what responsibility do you carry for our progress as societies, civilization, and the world, and how will you rise to the occasion of that responsibility? I expect there will be days when the weight of those challenges, quotidian, critical, and profound, will be daunting. And in those moments, let me remind you of the 1980s report and its emphasis on imagination. To buck contemporary trends of ever forward, let me rewind another 10 years to 1970. Your colleagues who graduated in that year were asked to design and build something for the community in under 1 week and with a total of $100. After contemplating this task for a night at a local tavern, such a contemplative space, the students chose to build a wooden structure made of telephone poles and 2x6 planking in the George Dixon recreational area near Uniacke Square. In the early design phase, the students reportedly reverted to childhood and climbed over, jumped off, and tore down a variety of items in the spirit of play. In remarks offered at the conclusion of their construction, a contemporary observed that, in quotes, the children seemed impressed not only by the unstructured fun of the construction obviously provided, but also by the fact that the group was doing it at all, that they would give the project no specific name or purpose, and by the assurance that once the work was done, it would be the children's to do with as they wished. On those days when you wonder if you can rise to the quotidian, the critical, and the profound challenges of our times, I want you to throw back your mind to the calls of the Royal Architectural Institute and the response of your 1970s graduate colleagues. Unleash the spirit of play, climb, jump, and tear down something. Find a skateboard and marvel at its design. Better yet, take one for a spin. Congratulations.
I will refrain from commenting. Thank you, President Brooks. Will graduates please rise as you are able? Chancellor Southwell, as Chair of the Senate of Dalhousie University, I ask you to confer degrees upon those graduates whose names have been approved by Senate.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in Dalhousie University, I admit to their respective degrees and diplomas with all rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto, those candidates who have fulfilled the requirements of that degree and whose names have been approved by the Senate. Admito vos ad gradum.
Congratulations. Graduates who are seated, standing rather, please be seated.
Now it's my turn. Graduates, this is the moment you've been waiting for. As you cross the stage, you'll be greeted by Chancellor Southwell through either a handshake or a right hand over your heart, and your dean will present you with an alumni pin. The pin serves as a reminder not only of your time at Dal, but the impact you've had as students and the potential you hold to shape your futures. We hope you wear it with pride. I now call upon Dr. Graham Gagnon, Dean of the Faculty of Architecture and Planning, and Dr. Marty Leonard, Dean of the Faculty of Graduate Studies, and Ella McDonald, an orator and alum from the Fountain School of Performing Arts, to present the candidates who are here today receiving degrees.
Chancellor Southwell, I am honored to present the following candidates on behalf of the Faculty of Architecture and Planning who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Bachelor of Community Design. Isabella Ahern, with honors in both urban design and planning and sustainability, first-class honors. Eric Joseph Gangle, with honors in urban design and planning, first-class honors. Bronson Douglas Jackman, with honors in urban design and planning. Joel Asaba Cabito Sylvester, Bachelor of Community Design. John Murray Kilfoyle, with honors in urban design and planning, first-class honors. Ignacio Lopez, with honors in urban design and planning. Maria Deborah Ann Lutz, with honors in both urban design and planning and sustainability, first-class honors. Katrina Elizabeth Ann Martin, with honors in urban design and planning. Ben Ray McHugh, Bachelor of Community Design. Kimberly Ann Molyneux, with honors in both urban design and planning and sustainability. William James Obert, with honors in both environmental planning and sustainability, first-class honors. Luna Avery Pryor, with honors in urban design and planning, first class honors. Ruby Daniela Shepard, with honors in both urban design and planning and sustainability, first class honors. Rui Shimada, double major in community design and sustainability. Nicholas Stewart, with honors in urban design and planning, first class honors. Kimberly Aquino Tam, with honors in urban design and planning and sustainability, first class honors. Leon Fearbach Vrugi, with honors in both urban design and planning and sustainability, first class honors, and the University Medal in Community Design. Sasha Wong, with honors in urban design and planning, first class honors. Sophia Grace Weller, Bachelor of Community Design with distinction. Kayla Holly Jing Mei Werzer, with honors in urban design and planning, first class honors. This concludes the presentation of candidates for the Bachelor of Community Design. I am now honored to present the following candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the Bachelor of Environmental Design Studies. Bronwyn Taya Atkins, major in Architecture Cooperative Program, Sexton Distinction. Christine Louise Beaton, major in Architecture Cooperative Program. Catherine May Berwick, major in Architecture Cooperative Program. Mary Caplice, major in Architecture Cooperative Program. Emily Joanne Carroll, major in Architecture Cooperative Program. Liam Joseph Casagrande, major in Architecture Cooperative Program. Daniel Choi, major in Architecture Cooperative Program. Vanessa Croft, major in Architecture Cooperative Program with distinction. Noah Davis, major in Architecture Cooperative Program. Nikola Dragesevic, major in Architecture Cooperative Program. Wilson Fott, major in Architecture Cooperative Program with distinction. Sophie Emma Blackwood Fitzgerald, major in Architecture Cooperative Program, Sexton distinction. Molly Kathleen Foster, major in Architecture Cooperative Program. Cole Roberts Fraser, major in Architecture Cooperative Program. Timothy Jordan Gallant, major in Architecture Cooperative Program with distinction. Anna Garrido, major in Architecture Cooperative Program. Kyrilos Georgakopoulos Tolis, major in Architecture Cooperative Program with distinction. Keegan Ronald Gray, major in Architecture Cooperative Program with distinction. Lindell Josiah Hibbert, major in Architecture Cooperative Program. Victoria Tinlock Hung, major in Architecture Cooperative Program. Matthew Thomas Meng Hovey, major in Architecture Cooperative Program with distinction. Jean Jacobson, major in Architecture Cooperative Program. Nicholas Gordon Johnson, major in Architecture Cooperative Program. Austin Lewis Jones, major in Architecture Cooperative Program. Jessica Colhaze Roda Chimecho Costa, major in Architecture Cooperative Program. Shayna Lee Chandel Konishuk, major in Architecture Cooperative Program. Nicholas James Leach, major in Architecture Cooperative Program. Mared Isabel Mackenzie, major in Architecture Cooperative Program with distinction. Catherine Emily McLeod, major in Architecture Cooperative Program. Camila Mascareñas Castro Lima, major in Architecture Cooperative Program, Sexton Distinction. Teresa Ann Mayhew, major in Architecture Cooperative Program with Sexton Distinction. Adam Wetmore McGathy, major in Architecture Cooperative Program with distinction. Zamani Falade Bernard Miller, major in Architecture Cooperative Program. Sarah Tomer Saad Ragab, major in Architecture Cooperative Program. Molly Kathleen Rainey, major in Architecture Cooperative Program. Caitlin Dawn Randall, major in Architecture Cooperative Program. Shazia Ranmal, major in Architecture Cooperative Program. Madeline Rose Richard, major in Architecture Cooperative Program. Daniel Terrence Robertson, major in Architecture Cooperative Program with Sexton Distinction. Avery Melissa Schilf, major in Architecture Cooperative Program. Sarah Ashley Shannon, major in Architecture Cooperative Program with distinction. Davis John Skippen, major in Architecture Cooperative Program with Sexton Distinction. James Alexander Smith, Major in Architecture Cooperative Program with distinction. Jamie Marie Spidell, Major in Architecture Cooperative Program with distinction. David Matthew Teed, Major in Architecture Cooperative Program with distinction. Brian Tam, Major in Architecture Cooperative Program. Rowan J. Trainer, Major in Architecture Cooperative Program with Sexton distinction. Princess Elora Linzo Villano, Major in Architecture Cooperative Program. Rob Tremaine, Major in Architecture Cooperative Program with Certificate in Environment, Sustainability, and Society Studies. Keegan Warren, Major in Architecture Cooperative Program. Holly Victoria Wiersma, Major in Architecture Cooperative Program with Sexton distinction. This concludes the presentation of candidates for the Bachelor of Environmental Design Studies. Chancellor Southwell, I am honored to present on behalf of the Faculty of Graduate Studies the following candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the Master of Architecture. Jane Carol Allison, Master of Architecture. Hend Asaf, Master of Architecture. Norman Bauman, Master of Architecture. Moses Neil Contreras, Master of Architecture. Brianna Helen Marion Curran, Master of Architecture. Callie Mary Lynn DeJoseph, Master of Architecture. Iana Sade Doyle, Master of Architecture. Victoria Friesen Weir, Master of Architecture. David Joseph Morris Gautreau, Master of Architecture. Cameron Ryburn Goodyear, Master of Architecture. George Bickerton Grant, Master of Architecture. Stavros Kondias, Master of Architecture. Christina Emily Letchford, Master of Architecture. William Robert Victor McInnes, Master of Architecture. Katerina Milosh, Master of Architecture. Tai Nguyen Ha, Master of Architecture. Jordan Ibong Okello, Master of Architecture. Vanessa Parodi Silva, Master of Architecture. Olivia Alexandra Raposo, Master of Architecture. Miranda Isabel Ray, Master of Architecture. Aaron Cariaga Regalado, Master of Architecture. Jennifer Vivian Sexton, Master of Architecture. Shannon Taylor, Master of Architecture. Marcus John Van Vliet, Master of Architecture. This concludes the presentation of candidates for the Master of Architecture. I am now honored to present the following candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the Master of Planning. Joseph Ambo, Master of Planning. Devin DeRobel, Master of Planning. Michael Thomas Robert Buckley, Master of Planning. Zhi Chen, Master of Planning. Jussiana Flavia de Souza e Silva, Master of Planning. Sydney Elizabeth Griffiths, Master of Planning. Longteng He, Master of Planning. Will Sonyao Hong, Master of Planning. Gregory Bradley Honeywell, Master of Planning. Meredith Barry Johnson, Master of Planning. Melanie Rose Kennedy, Master of Planning. Yuxiang Li, Master of Planning. Lauren McDonald, Master of Planning. Danielle Elizabeth McCabe, Master of Planning. Caleb Nakasaki, Master of Planning. Yaba Osifo, Master of Planning. Hannah Marie Peters, Master of Planning. Jose Alberto Veloso, Master of Planning. This concludes the presentation of candidates for the Master of Planning.
Can I ask everybody to join me in a round of applause for our amazing order, Ella McDonald. I would now like to call attention to the families and friends of our graduates today. We know that Convocation is such an important occasion for you as well, and we know that you deserve recognition for the love and support that you provided our students along the way. So we'd like to express our gratitude to you for your role. Can I ask all the graduates to please rise, and if I can ask the platform party to rise as well. Graduates, if you can turn and kind of face your family. Your family and friends have been applauding you throughout our convocation today, making a lot of noise in celebration of your achievements. So it's now your turn to make a lot of noise to thank them for their love and support. Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. Thank you. Conferring an honorary doctoral degree is the highest honor a university can bestow. I now call upon Dr. Louise Spiteri, our Chair of Senate, to present the candidate for the degree of Doctor of Laws.
Our built surroundings are much more than just shelters comprising a roof and four walls. They can be an expression of place, of material, of culture. The potential for architecture to embody this type of expression is never more evident than it is in the work of Professor Brian McKay-Lyons, whose designs pay homage to the vernacular building styles of the Atlantic region and have been described as a resistance to globalized culture. Professor McKay-Lyons was born on the southwestern shore of Nova Scotia in the village of Arcadia. He earned his Bachelor of Architecture from the Technical University of Nova Scotia in 1978 and was awarded the Royal Architectural Institute of Canada Student Medal. Driven to further his growth and experience, he went on to study extensively abroad, including in the United States, where he received his master's in architecture and urban design from UCLA, as well as in Italy, China, and Japan. But he felt a pull to return to his home province to combat the brain drain he was seeing at the time and contribute to the local culture in a meaningful way. On his return to Nova Scotia in 1985, Professor Mackay-Lyons began his own firm in Halifax, Brian Mackay-Lyons Architecture Urban Design. 20 years later, the firm evolved when Talbot Sweetapple joined as partner, and the resulting Mackay-Lyons Sweetapple Architects Limited has gone on to win more than 160 awards and accolades, including the Royal Architectural Institute of Canada Firm Award in 2014, 8 Governor-General Medals for Architecture, the most prestigious Canadian award celebrating outstanding design for built projects, and, in 2017, the Global Award for Sustainable Architecture. The firm's work has been recognized in more than 900 publications and 100 exhibitions. Professor Mackay-Lyons was also awarded the Royal Architectural Institute of Canada Gold Medal in 2015 for his lifetime contribution to architecture. Professor Mackay-Lyons chose to share what he learned over the course of his distinguished design career by teaching architecture at Dalhousie for 37 years. He has held 17 endowed academic chairs and has lectured internationally more than 200 times. He is also the founder of Ghost Lab, which ran from 1994 to 2011 as a different kind of architectural school situated on his family farm, aimed at offering students mentorship and hands-on experience in design and construction. Ghost Lab acted as an experimental retreat and meeting place for an international group of architects and continues today as the Ghost Residency, a summer internship program that provides aspiring architects with an immersive learning experience. Professor Mackay-Lyons is a Fellow of the Royal Architectural Institute of Canada and of the Royal Canadian Academy of Arts, an International Fellow of the Royal Institute of British Architects, and a member of the Order of Canada. In recognition of his remarkable contributions to the built environment of Nova Scotia, Canada, and beyond, of his visionary work in the field of architecture, and his commitment to creating a community through education and connection, I ask you, Chancellor, in the name of Senate, to bestow upon Professor Brian Mackay-Lyons the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Brian Mackay-Lyons, will you please rise? You already rose. By the virtue of the authority vested in me and in Dalhousie University, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Congratulations, Dr. Mackay-Lyons.
This is quite an outfit they make you wear. First, I want to congratulate the real graduates today. So well done. Good luck to you all. And thank Dalhousie University for this special honor. It was never on my radar, which makes it all the more lovely. As you've heard, I've had a long relationship with Dalhousie University. I guess I started architecture. I started my Bachelor of Science here in 1972, so 52 years ago. As was said, I grew up in a very small community called Arcadia of 400 people, where my ancestors have lived for a very, very, very long time. So while it was a small community, I was fortunate to travel and traveled all over and decided to be an architect when I was 4 years old, reaching around a column in the Roman Forum with my brother. Now, when I went to architecture school at what is now Dalhousie, some of my professors said that where I was from was nowhere, and that I had no business being an architect. Now, we all know that anger can keep you going for a while, but love is more important. So what is more important is empathy, curiosity, and creativity. I'm a teacher practitioner. Teaching can make you a better professional. You can take the anecdotal experiences from day-to-day practice and distill those into principles that can be taught to other people clearly. I want to make some thanks today to some people that have made a big difference to my career, starting with my partners. Talbot Sweetapple is on the stage with us, a professor of practice at Dalhousie. Two other partners in our firm, Shane Andrews and Melanie Hain, are both not well today, so they can't be here. All Dal graduates from small communities, Gander, Wolfville, and Country Harbor, Nova Scotia. I want to mention mentors in practice. The second part of your architectural education, or any education, is the apprenticeship system where you work in a firm. Some of those mentors are Charles Moore, Barton Myers, Giancarlo De Carlo in Italy, Glenn Murcutt in Australia, and they have been long lifetime friends, and actually 3 of those people I just mentioned received honorary doctorates from Dalhousie. It'd be important not to mention my teachers. 3 in particular stand out: Larry Richards, who is in Toronto, S.E. Baniaside, who passed this past year, and Anthony Jackson, the historian, who passed a few years ago. Those people encouraged me not to quit architecture at the beginning of my education. I always say, if you want to change the world, be a teacher. Lastly, I want to thank my family, especially my wife, Marilyn, who's on stage today here with me, who's a Dalhousie professor emeritus in the Faculty of Health Professions. Long-suffering wife and a love of my life. Our children, Renee, Allison, and Matthew, are in the front row over here with their husbands, and one of our grandchildren, one of our 5 grandchildren. And my wife always says, you have children to keep you in line. So I want to focus now on optimism. In architecture, we are in the optimism business. And that's especially important in dark times. Some would say these are dark times. There have been other dark times, but this is definitely a dark time. Juhani Palaasma, the Finnish architecture historian, said, building is the most optimistic of human acts. I would say he was wrong about that, and I told him so, because when you have children, it's more optimistic. I would say to you all graduates, if you're not satisfied with the world as it is, then change it. I always chose forgiveness over permission. If you show initiative, people really let you do things. Alternatively, if we are cynical or passive, then we will get the world that we deserve. And I'm going to end with a little story from a text from a French author whose name I don't know. It goes that there are a group of prisoners sharing a large cell in Paris. The oldest prisoner, berth, bed, is beside the only window high up in the room. So every morning the younger prisoners would ask the elder about the world outside. So he would say, "The sun is shining, the sheep are in the fields, the world is as it should be." Then one day the youngest prisoner became the elder, so he took the place by the window. The first morning he looked out the window, out at a blank wall. When the younger prisoners asked him about the world outside, he said, "The sheep are in the fields, the sun is shining, and the world is as it should be." Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. McKay Lyons, for those beautiful and inspiring words. Graduates, today you were led into this ceremony and will soon be led out by your beadle, carrying the new Dawn staff and place of belonging. This staff is not merely a ceremonial object, it is a representation of our diverse community, and it is filled with symbols and materials and textures that reflect the richness and diversity of individuals like you. Individuals who will continue to be lifelong members of Dalhousie's global community, which now includes more than 160,000 alumni worldwide. As a university, we take immense pride in the success of our graduates, and we are also fully committed to becoming an even stronger university over time by building on our promises to our students, our faculty and researchers, promises to our communities, and our ongoing commitments to equity, diversity, and inclusion. To build on our reputation and to build on our legacy so that the value of your degree, what it means to have a degree from Dalhousie, will continue to appreciate over time. This is our promise and our commitment to you as alumni of Dalhousie. Thank you for choosing Dalhousie for your studies. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of your educational journey. Congratulations on this wonderful achievement. The business of Convocation is now concluded. Please allow the platform party and graduates to exit from the room first, led by our beadle. Thank you, and once again, congratulations.
Give me the diminish, don't delly old note, nigga much good, ma we done it. Give me the diminish, don't what a big soul, nigga abahon madultine abahon madultine dan gisuk teliga haluk sigu ulau si amo we aheu we yo we ha ya ya we yo he yo he ha ya we 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 yo he ha ya he yo we yo we ha ya ya we yo he yo he ha ya we 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 yo he ha ya hey yo get me dead minute stand yo no Iga much good my we done it get me dead minute done what a big soul did Iga much good abahon madultinet abahon madultinet dan gisuk teliga haluk sigu ulau si amo we aheu we yo we ha yo yo we yo he yo he ha ya we 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 yo he ha ya he yo we yo we ha ya ya we yo he yo he ha ya we 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 yo he ha ya hey yo get me dead minute down delio no nigga much good my we done it get me dead minute down where the big soul did nigga much good abahon madultinet abahon madultinet dan gisuk teliga haluk sigu ulau si amo we aheu we yo we ha ya ya we yo he yo he ha ya we 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 yo he ha ya hey yo we yo we ha ya we yo he yo he ha ya we 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 yo he ha ya hey yo get me dead minute stand delio no nigga much stood my we done it get me dead minute done what a big soul did nigga much stood abahon madultinet abahon madultinet dan gisuk teliga haluk sigu ulau si amo we aheu we yo we ha ya ya we yo he yo he ha ya oh hey.